Hey, welcome to my channel, WriteLifeDraw. Next installment, this will be part B of a part A and B, 3 parts altogether, of inking this piece by this wonderful artist named, let me put this right side up for you, Yildiray Çinar. Mr. Çinar I've never met, he and I have never met, but I had a copy of his pencils. This was done in 2004, and it was done, printed out as a blue line uh, board on Eon board, which is fantastic to use. And this is the original, a copy of the original pencils and what they look like. It was just fantastic piece of the Ultimate Avengers as they looked in the comics back in 2004. So that's what this is about. And I am going to go, if you want to know more details about the materials and the tools that I use and why I use them, well, by all means, take a look at the prior video, the prior 2 videos on this minor series. All right, so let me go over here and use this brush medium. I'm going to really use these Copic multiliners pretty heavily. So let me not use the medium size. Let me use, I have another size here. Um, that's a brush small. Okay, let's go with this one. Let's see how far I can. Yeah. Oh, this is a great brush right here. I can tell. I can do fine details of shadows cast. Although in this case here, I want to create a stronger holding line. So what I'm going to do is use a 0.1 Copic multiliner, so you can see it there. And come on in here and just do these lighted, little tiny aspects of the inks, of the shadows, of where the shadows are placed. There are some areas where you just want to use a pen because even if it were a sable brush, not just a disposable brush, the points can get dull on the brush. You may not notice it right away because you're moving fast and you want to get this done with. And all of a sudden you've got a glob of ink where there should be none. Now in this case, I can just come in with the, hold on, let me separate these brushes. Oops. With the small brush, you just use that instead of the fine point to finish anything that has a larger amount of ink. But if you want to do details, you want to be able to use this. I mean, if I had a rapidograph or a quill, which is basically a pen with a metal point at the end, that you dip in ink, but that can be quite messy. A lot of artists nowadays just don't use it because it's very, well, messy. But it produces a great line, though, of ink. So you can tell I'm actually going around the corners. I'm hugging the line, the holding line as it's called. At least that's how I was taught by other comic book artists. Over the years, here we go. Now this really helps me refine the area of ink. Is this visible to you? Okay, hopefully it is. And there's a reason why I turn the board upside down. It really helps bring the art closer to me. And more importantly, it allows me to control how much ink I'm gonna spend or allow to spill out of the pen on any one parcel or part of the of that area of the drawing, if that makes sense. Uh, I'll try my best as I go along to explain how all of this works and why it works the way it does. Hopefully the lighting is good. I'm outdoors at a cafe, so I until I bring a portable light with me, that whatever's there as far as lighting will have to do. So far, I've been able to look at the prior videos, and the lighting was it was okay. All right, so here there are these fine lines that I want to obey those lines. I don't want to go past those lines. That creates character. That's a type of single hatching that you do to create a shadow play. of shadows cast by the light. Also, can anyone tell me watching this where the light's coming from? Because that's going to be like, once I'm able to interact more directly with anyone viewing this, or those that view it, to sort of use a generalistic term, that's also future casting. Uh, you know, the more I do this with folks and I do lives, and I'll be asking those questions like, what are you learning? Are you learning something from what I'm doing? Because that's the eventual goal, is to teach and to show what I do in a very general sense. Uh, there are no quizzes in this classroom. There are no eternal mistakes. There's no, you did this so you can't come back from that. That's not what this is about. This channel is definitely going to be about showcasing what I know how to do and how it can, how that information can be passed on to you, and it can help you in whatever it is you do when it comes to art. I mean, for all I know, you could be a comic book artist, or you could be uh, a cartoonist. Maybe you work with cells still, or you're doing it digitally. And this could be seeming very far from the mark. As you can tell, this is the brush small from Copic Multiliner. And the brushes that they have, the brush tips, are fantastic because they have no splits at the end. Let me show you all something. You might find this interesting. Hold on a second. See this beautiful, this is a Copic, it's called Gassenfude, a Gassenfude nylon brush. But the problem with this nylon brush is, I don't know if I can show it. At the very tip, see if the camera will focus on it, there's almost a slight curvature, almost as if there's a piece of nylon that's sticking out at the very, very end of it. You see it? I can see it. And so when you drag it on something, if it's not, if it's a small confined space, like here, I could use it here, fine, right? See all that? The ink is coming off great. Ooh, I can move it around. It looks good. But when I get this close to the shield and I have to create a halo, I have to make sure it doesn't bleed over. And that is not good about this brush, which is really weird because it is made by Copic. Or I could just have a defective one, which is likely what this is all about. So I'm going to have to get another one of these. I think I have one, a new one in its packaging, and I'll have to test it out and see if it's better than that one. If it is, I'm going to have to throw that one away because it's just not working for me. All right, so let's stop using this Copic Multiliner brush small and go for the 01 and make sure that we have the eye lenses correct. You see how I have to get those lines, right? I don't want to go beyond the scope of what Mr. Yildiray originally drew and what he intended. That's the job of the inker, is to be truthful, as honest, as well, is it honorable? Is it, I don't know. What's the right phrase? Honest, that's the key word, to the original pencils. Of course, if there's something lacking, like I've been asked upon or asked to actually finish drawings for other people, finish their penciling, and then ink it. Okay, that's fine. It's not necessarily embellishing what they did. It's just really, literally finishing what they did. Because they didn't have the time, they didn't care to, they went on to another project, and that's allowable and understandable in the comic book world. However, when you're handed pencils that are very finite, very detailed, like Jim Lee tends to draw, which Scott Williams will usually ink 9 times out of 10, he'll have him ink his artwork. Or something like this by Yildiray Çinar. Oh, gosh, I hope I'm pronouncing that correctly. Uh, you, everything's been laid out for you. So, and for those that don't know about comic book inking, or may just be interested in seeing these videos, but are not going to do this stuff, it's not tracing. You have to know how to draw. Again, I can't stipulate that enough. You have to learn, teach yourself, have someone teach you, go to class, go to school, go to art school, go to college, do whatever you have to do, but by all means, learn how to draw. Because inking is not, again, as I repeat, is not simply tracing what you see. If you have no idea what you're looking at and how it's supposed to look, then how would you know how to actually finish it in ink? Uh, I'll wait for any responses out in the comments. I'll be here waiting. I mean that as a joke, of course. Uh, I'm probably just talking to myself for all I know. Let me see. I need the brush small. I'm going to take this one back out. Watch this. Now this, even though I draw my own creations and other in comic book characters, and I've done, I've been asked to do portraitures, which I've done. I've been commissioned to do comic book art drawings for people, paid for commissions, of course, and other drawings. I don't know, it could be a tank, it could be two apples inside a bowl. But one of the things that I love to do, even in those drawings as well as comic book art, is actually uh, laying down my inks because I don't know. I think somewhere in the back of my mind, where's that? Somewhere inside my bloodstream, I've got ink for blood. Something to that degree. Let me check the time for us, folks. We're at 11 minutes, and I've got this upside down drawing for you all. And let's do the cheekbones here. That small piece will actually itemize the cheekbones. And we're going to itemize the lips so you get an idea. All right, let's pause this.